Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. How is everybody? Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. Cool, cool. You guys can hear me? Make sure that I think everything's working good. Alrighty, let's dive into it. So how is everybody? We are actually getting into the third week of October. I can't believe it. Getting pretty crazy how quick this year has gone. Yeah, so definitely a lot of good movement so far to start the week. I'm pretty happy with everything going on. Definitely a whole lot better than it was last week. And fundamentally, we've got some decent news coming through the week this week. Moreover, next week, and if you trade indices, we're definitely getting a lot of volatility in just because of the earnings reports. I don't know how many of you guys have looked, but I want to say it was like 42% of the S&P 500 holdings had earnings or will have earnings reports released from Q3 this week. So there's a lot of fundamentals at play, a lot of potential opportunities to get into, and yeah, we'll kind of break it down, go through everything that I'm looking at to start the week. Of course, look at the fundamentals on the currency side, and we can see what we have here for fundamentals going in for this week. Looks pretty clean. We have some inflation numbers coming out from the pound and from the Canadian dollar, right? I can't believe that. That's crazy. They're forecasting 10%, man. It is ridiculous. I'm sure that's going to come in. But we have some Canadian dollar coming in, and this is all going to be pretty much tomorrow, right at Frankfurt Open. We have pound CPI data coming out for inflation numbers. And then during New York session, it's going to be all Canadian dollar. So, to start the week, much like last week, much like most of the last previous months, I've got USD CAD on the table for me. I've got AUD CAD. AUD CAD, if it can do what I want it to do, I need it to sweep and give me a shakeout before I can start selling it some more. We have NZD CAD. And then the newcomer that I've been from last week, I'm still holding my longs on CADJ, and I actually got into a position today on it. So paid up pretty nice, took some partials. So I've got, for the Canadian side, I'm definitely looking at that. The pound side, GU is definitely where I'm at with it. But we know tomorrow night we're going to have jobs reports. We're going to have NFP for the Australian dollar. So I'm looking also everything Australian and Kiwi related, specifically AUD-CAD, AU, NCAD, and NU is really where I'm focused in. I do have AJ and NJ. I did take a position on NJ for buys today. I am looking for continuation to the upside for AJ and NJ. But fundamentally, we have that at play. We do have some Chinese data coming out, so we can pretty much guess that that's going to be just manipulation at its best. And then Thursday during our session prior to equities open, we're going to have the manufacturing index come out. We'll see how that plays out. That's definitely going to rock some indices, and I'm actually looking for continuation shorts. We could potentially see a short-term buy, maybe to get up into a more distinct supply area. But overall, I'm just bearish on it. And I did get into a position on NASDAQ for shorts. We were looking to short S&P, but the stupid thing left without us and never gave me an entry. And that's pretty much it. I'm really Friday. There's not a lot of data that I'm really worried about. Canadian dollar, there's a little bit of core retail sales that's going to come out. I'm really not optimistic about it giving much volatility. I think Thursday is going to be what we're going to see. The big one is going to be the manufacturing index. We're going to see a little bit when they do the updated unemployment claims and, of course, existing home sales. But I know that the existing home sales, everything on the home market is definitely, that housing end is we're seeing that pendulum swing, right? We're starting to see increase in interest rates. Increase in interest rates means that we're going to start to see a decrease in property values. Decrease in property values, obviously, when you look at net worth, what's your net worth? Your net worth isn't based off of what your interest rate is. It's based off of what your property is. So, that's something to take into consideration when we're looking at overall market sustainability. And then of course, next week it's a whopper. We've got all kinds of stuff going into next week, but for the basis, this is what I'm looking at. I've added in, I'm definitely looking at EU, AU, NU, and GU shorts. And like I said, I'm looking at AJ, NJ, GJ, EJ's on there, but it's not really anything on my list. I'm more interested in GJ. I'm looking for all buys on that. UJ, I'd love to get into a buy. If someone can figure out how to get into a buy on UJ, I'd be, other than buy by market, I'd be interested in looking at it, because for the last 2 damn years, I haven't been able to get into it. Yeah, but that's what we're looking at. Apart from Forex Factory, where do I get my news information? Bloomberg, Fox Business. I mean, I've got a whole list of stuff I kind of go through, but for the most part, I stick to Bloomberg, CNBC Business, Fox Business. Those are the outlets that I kind of follow. And I'll start to get the information from there. But yeah, I mean, if you trade indices, you definitely want to Google an earnings report calendar and know when certain stocks, and obviously, like a particular stock that is ranked in the top 10 of, like, say, the Dow Jones or the S&P 500 is going to be definitely more interesting than the number 499 or 500 stock that maybe has a fraction of a percent that it weights against the S&P 500. So, I mean, those are just little things that you want to make sure you're always on top of. Bear with me here. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at going into the week. And yeah, let's jump into the charts. Let's kind of look at the outlook, see what happened. Definitely some good movement. We're definitely getting, for the most part, everything I've been trading, we have not seen any kind of pullback. It's just been all continuation moves. So, and that's kind of where I'm going to continue to play from. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. The trading view catch up. There we go. Alrighty. So let's start with everything that's important, the dollar index, right? I mean, this is where everything starts and pretty much ends from. What I'm looking at here is, oh, come on now. Man, this thing's been lagging. All right. So dollar index, we're really not playing out of anything important at this point. What we are looking at is we have seen price come back into the area that I wanted it to come into, right? This is the area I wanted it to. We saw signs of buyers coming into the market. And from that, what we did was we took out the very first level of supply at this redistribution, right? So we're in this lower time frame order flow leg, which is inside of this larger leg. And in that, we're on the upswing of the market cycle, right? We're on the accumulation, reaccumulation, ultimately a major distribution that's working its way down now. And now all I'm waiting for is we've got our creek. I'm just waiting for the confirmation of reaccumulation ultimately to target this. And my speculation is that this is going to be my slingshot, which breaks this high right here. So going into that, I need to just wait for evidence of buyers. And when you shoot down here and you see what the market's kind of giving you, you could see that we are in just a larger accumulation, right? Evidence of buyers. We're getting really good evidence of buyers coming into the market. We're seeing what they're doing. I was a little disappointed because I was kind of hoping that we would break this high. Since we didn't break that high, I'm really not interested in doing anything out of this. I'm just going to sit back and wait. I actually wouldn't be disappointed if we created a spring. This is be our fourth drive, and then did something, break the high, take it like this. I wouldn't be so disappointed in doing that. We'll see what happens. Ideally, best case scenario, and what I would consider Christmas coming early for me would be I wake up tomorrow morning right around crossover, and we actually get, we actually get something like this. This would be perfect. There we go. I'd love it if we got something like this. If we can, if this can work in something like that, and then we get the accumulation down here and it happens right here in the gray box, I'd be tickle pink. This would be ideal because I'd be looking for the buys out of that to then confirm this, come back for the pullback, continue up, taking out, jumping our creek, taking the new high. That's ideally what I'm looking for. Could this come lower? Sure, it absolutely can, right? I mean, it's not holding anything of structure, but I'm also going to be, what session is the gray box? That's my Frankfurt Open. Yeah, it's my Frankfurt Open. But ideally, that's what I'm looking at, right? I mean, could we come lower? I mean, you could see my 50% sitting right here. Sure we can. Actually, there's nothing really keeping it from not coming lower. The only thing I do want to see, though, is I want to see that evidence. I want to see continuation plays to the upside. I'm not looking at short dollar. If it doesn't give me anything, I'm just not going to do anything with it. All right. So with that, EU being the exact same, just the diametrically opposed asset, what I'm going to be looking for on EU is continuation shorts. Hold on. I was kind of hoping we were going to break this right here, but all is good, right? What I'm looking for here is, since we came in here, right? This is what's maintaining. This is our leg up here. This is our leg. This is the slingshot that caused the break. We came into it. We broke the reaccumulation here. So we're here, and this is already, without a doubt, within the next, I don't know, 2 to 7 days, we're going to be down to here. So it's just a matter of when do we get there. What I would like to see is we are in a distribution, 1 drive, potentially 2 drive, maybe even a 3rd drive here. Do we get a UTAD, break it down to come lower? So same thing I'm looking for on dollar. I'm looking for right here. Oh, come on. Right there. That's what I want to see, right? So we are seeing some pretty good evidence of it. But we never broke, right? We never got the continuation move. So because of no continuation move, I'm just going to sit back. Oh, I guess I did have a box. Oh, geez, man. I got a couple boxes. Holy madness. So ideally, what I do want to see is I want to see, do we get something to either give us a shakeout, trade above all of this madness, and then we get the break to walk this down, or do we just fall apart? Right now, I mean, I'm not interested in doing anything with it. I'll look to see what we do at Frankfurt, but ideally, this is what I want to see. That right there. All right. I want to see that give me a pretty decent play. And when we look at it, there's your trading range. So you essentially are in your 3rd drive, whether or not we do this, then the break can come down, that gets me in. All right. There's nothing really over here that I'm looking to play, just because I'm not looking for mitigation. I'm looking for continuation play. All right. How in the world did you copy those candlesticks and paste them? You never used it for backtesting purposes. Just come over here to bar feed. You get the bar pattern, and all you got to do is you can select whatever you want. Yeah, it's a great tool for backtesting. Yeah. Did the divergence of DXY and EU during New York have any significance for you? Yeah. I mean, you could kind of see what I was looking at. I mean, it was perfect. What I just needed was I needed this break right here. I needed that alert to go off. Well, if this broke, I was setting a limit out of here. So it was, I mean, dollar showed me it was the leader. EU was showing me it was the laggard. It gave me everything I wanted to see out of it. But no follow through, right? If this would have broken here, then I would have set it. I would have set it out of my UTAD potentially. But at this point, it doesn't look like, it really honestly just looks like this is end of New York price action. It's just garbage. So I do now need to see Asian price action, something in Asian, get us a move down. Maybe we get back up during London and then the break, something like that. That's what I want to see. So we're still very much in an area where we can see sellers coming into the market. it's just a matter of just being patient with it. So on EU, that's what I'm doing. GU is pretty much the same thing, right? GU, I was a little hesitant on doing anything this week with GU, just because the pound's really been controlling this, not the dollar. But we did come in. We could see here, similar to EU, right? Like we had price break this low. All right, this is the low, the reaccumulation that caused the high. That distribution was solid. I was really hoping that we can get back into at least 50% of that Frankfurt sweep. It came yesterday. It came about like, I don't know, 9-10 pips shy of it. And what I was looking at doing today was playing. Oh, I think it came in just now, man. What a flipping. So ideally, what I wanted to play was out of London price action. This is what I wanted to play out of today, was out of London price. I don't know why that's there. I wanted to play out of London price action. We saw Frankfurt do a really great redistro that took the low. We came in, distributed perfectly with a type 1 in here, sent this down. So I was kind of hoping to catch something up here, and we just never saw it. You know, price never came back. We got pretty close right at during New York. She came perfectly. I mean, within, I think it was something like 4 or 5 pips, she came in and then just sold off. So my order was deleted. And you can kind of see what we've done since, just absolutely nothing. You could tell when we get into the end of New York session right in here, and then this just goes to crap. So what I'm looking for now is just this to turn into a redistro. There's really nothing for me to play to the upside until we do this, right? We've got the accumulation. We've got the reaccumulation. You know, maybe we play into the redistro that happens here. And then we break it down, something into this, where I can then come back and play mitigation to go lower. That's what I'm looking for. You know, we're definitely still seeing some really good sellers. There was a really clean distribution that happened in here yesterday during New York session. I didn't get into it, but it's there. I was really hoping to get into this, and you can see we just fell really just a couple of pips shy of it. So now I just want to get the redistribution. We've got our ice building, let it shake it out, play into here, and then down we go. That's what I'm looking at. Could? Yeah, absolutely. It could go higher. Yep. How do you know GBP in control of this price action rather than the dollar? Just look at the two safe havens that it's trading against. You know, I mean, go to the hour chart. And what's the other safe haven? Anybody know? What's the other safe haven? Somebody that I haven't shown this to. When it has that divergence but fails to follow through, what do you do to interpret that as just a failure? Yeah, not enough to push it lower. Not enough selling pressure. Anybody know what I would compare GU with? Yeah, good. GJ. Absolutely. Just look at GJ. Just look at GJ. Where are we? We are, boom. Here we go. So when was the pound controlling this? Pound was controlling this from here all the way to here. And then we fell out because now what do we see? I mean, we're technically, pound is still kind of controlling it because you could still see the same price action that you're seeing here. So this is all pound driven. This has nothing to do with the US dollar. So, and this is what you're looking at. You're looking at the two benchmarks, right? Safe haven. And this is giving you an exact replica of the price action. So pound is driving it right now. And that's kind of why I was a little hesitant on trading GU. I was more interested in just following what EU was doing. You're looking to sell GU from 4780, 4780 up here. Yeah, I mean, if it goes up there, sure. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'm at this point, I'm just going to kind of sit back and just wait. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, you've got this is just maintaining order flow. So this was the area that I wanted it to come into for sure. I actually had, I'm trying to think. I had, no, I didn't have a limit. I take it back. I didn't have a limit, and I won't put a limit on it. But if she comes up there, yeah, I mean, I'll give it a look. I honestly don't know if we're going to get up there though. So it's really going to be dependent on, honestly, it's going to be dependent on this inflationary data that comes out during Frankfurt. That could be a catalyst to see what we're going to get out of this with. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So yeah, that's my play on GU. This for sure. This for sure. Whether we do it now, whether we do it here, or whether we come up and tap, where I'm looking at and then come lower. That's the game plan for me. That's really what I'm going to be interested in doing. Lower time frame distro, 80% of the UTAD. Lower time frame distro, 80% of the UTAD's unmitigated. So you're saying that there's a lower time frame distro in here? Sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I got what you say, 47.80. Yeah, I mean, I've got my 47.794. Yep, I'm with you, man. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at GU. On the AU front, pretty much the same. We're getting the same picture. I'll let this catch up. So on the AU front, this is kind of what I want to see. So we are definitely being controlled from up here, right? From a market cycle. This is the order flow. I'm 100% anticipating redistro, right? Just makes sense. And this morning, we actually got really, really great price action. We did get price to come back into the distribution. We did confirm this as a distro. Only thing that sucks is the timing, because we're right here where I'd be looking for my setup, but I have no intention of doing anything with it at this time. So we'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, if it leaves without me, I'll play continuation play. I'll wait for the redistros and keep playing redistros. So that's ideally what I'm looking at. Do you always have 4 TPs on every trade setup, or does it vary? I always have 4 orders on every setup. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the way I have my position size calculator set up. Crypto's been going sideways, but any way you can give your thoughts on BTC and Ethereum? Yeah, I'm bearish on it, man. I'm bearish on it. Nothing's changed. I'm waiting down there around like the 80, what is it, like 8,800 to like, I think like 7,200. So yeah, I'm just waiting. We'll eventually get there. I think we're probably going to get there closer to the end of the year, but yeah, we'll see. End of November, maybe into December is when I think we'll get there. Yeah. I mean, just measure out that huge shakeout. I'm waiting in that 50 to 80% of that huge shakeout, which is like, I think the lowest point. I think my lowest order, just to say I have one in there, I think is like $5,800. So, but if we can get into the eights, I'll be happy. Yeah. But on AU, I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, this is pretty clean what we're looking at, where ideally, whether or not this becomes the shakeout now, we could theoretically get a shakeout on it. I'm most definitely waiting for my shorting opportunity. Whether or not this holds nothing for me. If we trade above it, I could care less. What I'm looking for is, do we sweep out all of this, get a shakeout, and do we now show signs of sellers coming in the market? If we do, then I'm all in on it, and I'm targeting a new low. And that's kind of my thought process with it. We'll see what happens. The biggest thing for me is just waiting on 2 things. One, waiting on this thing here to continue to keep giving me the buy signal on DXY. And if that happens, great. Then I can definitely start to tear into these, because we already know Australian dollar is just completely being dismantled. It is weak. I mean, on all fronts. I mean, especially what's going on with like China and stuff like that. So, all it takes is a little bit of pressure from the US dollar coming in and this thing will just completely melt like it's been doing. So that's really what I want to continue seeing going on with it. So is that playable because the ice? Wait a minute. Because that's not following structure, or can you show the structure again? The structure. Yeah, structure is way the heck up here, man. Yeah, structure is way the heck up here. I mean, if you just want to go off the order flow structure, I mean, we're being maintained from up here. This is our structure. I mean, and then you want to go into true structure, dude. True structure is way the heck up here. I mean, this is what's maintaining the entire leg. So for me, this is just what I'm playing is continuation plays to the downside. Yeah. Did you get in off the 50 on AU? No, I personally didn't. It just wasn't worth it for me on the 50. I had an order on the 80, but it wasn't worth it for the 50. So I'll just sit back and wait. I was hoping this morning, we were hoping to get a distribution. Like we had it up here. I mean, I was sitting on it and we were looking at all these crosses during the York session, but she just never gave me anything. She never gave me anything to play. And then this thing just collapsed. So it is what it is. So on continuations, you'll wait for a schematic. And for mitigation, you'll take it off the 50 and 80. Yeah, I'll play redistros. Yeah. So I need a redistro. On the 4 hour. Yeah. We haven't confirmed redistro yet. Talking about this? That? I'm guessing that's what you're talking about, right? This? Yeah, it could. You know when I'll stop selling it from down here? When it breaks order flow. When we finally take out this, I'll wait. Yeah, but I just look at let's look at AU here for a second. Let's look at AU here for a second. So when we look at AU, this was the last time we broke order flow. I remember everybody trying to buy out of this. But since we made this, we haven't had any true pullbacks. This was the one and only pullback that we ever got. And this was back in August. That was the last big pullback. So yeah, I mean, we never came back into this. We never came back into this. So I'm going to play. I mean, that's just how I'm going to do it. I'm going to play until it says no, until it finally breaks order flow. But yeah, I mean, it can absolutely. And if it comes up into my points of interest up here, if it comes into here, I'll be happy with it. This isn't anything of value other than just maintaining the lowest form of order flow. This is really what I want to see price come back into is up here. But I have no faith that the US dollar is going to weaken that much for us to get up there. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But yeah, that's ideally what I'm going to look at. And then of course, if I wake up tomorrow morning post London Open and this thing ends up coming higher, I'm still going to be looking for my shorts because now all we've done is just given the shakeout. So if I get something, heck, if I get something like this, if we get something like this, yeah, all day long. I mean, I'm going to be looking for that right there to short it. I'll prematurely get into it because I'm sure we're going to bounce off of this trend line. That's just going to be our ice being built up. But once we confirm the distro, I'm game on it. So that's kind of how I'm going to play it. Just be patient. That's the one thing I'll tell you is like be patient with the entry. It'll come. I mean, figure how long. Anybody that was trying to get into anything in here, look at this. You're 1, 2, 3, you're 4 days, an entire week. You just sat in here and did nothing. So, I'm technically, 5, 6, you've been here for going on 8 days. It really hasn't given anything. So I'd love a manipulation, because all this did was give us equal highs, right? So I would personally love this to happen for me to get involved in it. I'm still gonna, if this was New York session where we were at now, I'd be looking for shorts all day, just because I got to give credit to this. But outside of that, like I said, I mean, we've got, what do we got? Like 8 hours, 7 hours until London Open. So let Asian kind of do its stupid thing and then go from there. That's kind of what I want to see. Yeah. Okay. That's AU. NU is a little different story. NU is, so I talked about it last week. The Australian dollar has really taken over being the leader out of the two benchmarks. The Kiwi itself has really just been picking this up. And ideally, what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for similar price action, right? Just give me a distribution. We are in the 50% of the entire redistro. But when you look at what's going on here, I mean, just zoom out, when in doubt, zoom out and just look at what we've done. You have shakeout, swept out all your weak-handed sellers, confirmed the redistro. And, I'd make a bet with anybody right now that this turns into a redistro and we break this low within the next week or two. This is already giving me 100% confidence that we're going to come into this right here and short out. So I've got a point of interest up in here. This was Kiwi News that actually gave this. So I do want to see if we can get up around like this 57.60 area. But if I start to see evidence of the distribution here, I'm going to take it. Ideally, what I'd be looking for is, for this to actually turn into something. Right now, what are we sitting at? We're sitting at, yeah, I mean, right now, what are we sitting at? We're sitting at something in here. Whether or not you want to consider that your climax, I doubt. For me, I'm not gonna even label it as a climax yet. But we have something that's going on. If anything, it's potentially our third drive. Maybe we get a fourth and do something like this. So I'm very much still looking for NU shorts. I like it. And what we're seeing here is, yeah, I mean, could we come higher? Absolutely. But you just got to wait and watch the price action. It's in the point of interest that I want to look for the short on. I took some hedge buys. No, this was just a back test I was doing with somebody today. Just going through some price action. So yeah. Yep. But this is pretty clean. And you look at what NU's really just been doing. I mean, no pullbacks. I mean, look at this stupid thing. This thing I haven't been, I did take an NU short on Friday. Yeah, I did take an NU short on Friday. Ended up hitting break even, but not after I took, I think, like a 1 to 20 something with 50% volume off. So, I mean, this thing has just fallen out of the sky. We haven't seen any pullbacks. So if we can get a pullback on here, great. If not, I'm not going to hold my breath on it. It is what it is. Hold on, bear with me. 1 second. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, so that's AU, that's NU. We talked about G and EU. It's really, it's one of those where I'm just going to sit back and just wait. We'll see what it actually gives me. On the UCAD front, UCAD's a little different story, right? UCAD's going to have to be told from like the higher time frame. And this is why, because we're on a lower time frame, we're playing out of an active distribution is what we're doing. And as soon as this thing pops up, there we go. So we're playing out of an active distribution. All right. And this is the distribution that I'm talking about, right? Yeah, right here. This is the distro I'm talking about. So we came in, we broke, we came back up to it. We made a new low. All is great. What I'm looking at now is I want to see, do we come back into this right here, which kind of puts me in this area, right? That's what I want to see price come into. This morning's price action, we did get we did get price. Here we go. So we did get price to give an accumulation, right? I mean, here's our accumulation. There's your shakeout. Price did break. Price attempts the distro, comes back to the 50% of it, and then gives an accumulation this morning, which causes the break, right? I don't know if anybody actually got into it. You know, with we've been testing out some buy stop and sell stop areas. I could tell you if you took it off the 50, for me, there was no way I was taking off the 50 just because it wasn't worth it. Just to get it up to this high right here, I want to say it was like a 1-7 if you took it off the 50. So not something I was looking to do, but I did like the fact of us coming in for the shakeout, us breaking the high, coming back to quickly mitigate, and off it went. So what I'm anticipating at this point is I do not want us to trade below here. So I need exactly what I've been talking about with, you know, heck, I mean, I'll take something like this right here. There we go. I'll take something like this right here, just like that, right? If we can get something like this tonight, you know, build out a schematic, get Frankfurt to sweep, London to come back, that's what I'm going to be looking for to take it higher. You know, now keep in mind, like I said, we haven't really broken anything. We're playing out of an active distribution. So, you know, realistically, depending on where you are in your month, you know, tomorrow for my major prop firm, tomorrow is my profit split day. So I start over on the 20th. The 19th is the last day for me. So I could care less really tomorrow about being aggressive in a trade. You know, I've already, you know, I'm planning on doing my invoices tonight when I'm done, sending it off for payment. On my personal account, yeah, I'm not doing anything with this. You know, we either on my personal account, I'm way more selective. We either come back into here, do something that I really like, or we confirm reaccumulation when we come back, I'll play it up. You know, that's ideally how I'm going to play it with the bigger account. What indicator do you use for the sessions? I mean, I have one that I created in PineEditor, but you can use sessions on the chart. You can, I mean, I don't know, there's like a 1,000 of them out there. You can just use, I mean, they all, for the most part, I think they all do the same thing, you know? Yeah. How do you decide where to put the stop loss on a buy stop play? I mean, that's entirely up to you how you want to do it. I mean, I honestly, this week is the first week I'm kind of like toying with it and just back testing some stuff on what I want to do with it. But it's entirely up to you whether you're going to run it all the way to the low, whether you're going to split risk on it, whether you're going to triple risk it, whether, I mean, there's a lot of scenarios at play. So yeah, I don't have the answer. You know, I'm going to, you know, I've got one of the prop firms I'm using. That's what, that's kind of the account that I'm going to be doing some stops with and just see if that provides just another bit of, I guess, profitability out of it. But I did this a couple of months ago, actually almost a year ago, I guess now, and all the data told me not to do it, so I didn't do it. So we're just revisiting it because the last 2 months really price hasn't been giving a lot of mitigation plays. So, but on UCAD, that's kind of where I'm. Where is the chat not showing up in YouTube? Yeah, it's there. It's there. Yeah. I don't know. Reset, man. Reset, or I don't know. Like, yeah, I couldn't tell you, man. It's there. I see it. I see you posting in it. But that's my thought process on UCAD. I'll tell you right now, UCAD is not on my high priority list just because of where we are. I'm more interested in the dollar crosses, and I'm more interested on the CAD front. I'm more interested like in ACAD and NCAD. On the ACAD front, so on ACAD, what I'm really interested is, man, and I know, hold on, is it like on a lower time frame? I know I got this damn box, man. Hold on. Dude, trading view is just, I can't wait for my annual to come up so that I can just email them and demand like a discount from them. And when they ask me, I'm just going to show them all this crap, man. So I'm still holding a bunch of shorts. You know, I'm technically still holding the shorts from there, still holding my shorts from here. And what I'm honestly looking for is 100% and I 100% believe we're going to redistribute. What I'd like to see is I'd like to see us pop up and take all this out and get a shakeout. And I think what we play into is going to be into this redistribution here. So if you look, you could see my alert is sitting right up here. That's really what gets me in. I don't think we come lower first. I mean, we can just play the order flow mess like this, but I do think, and with knowing that tomorrow night is Australian jobs reports, I can 100% count that we're going to get manipulation. If we're going to get manipulation, it's going to be to the upside, and then we're going to collapse. So in theory, that's what I'd like to see, is something like this play out. And once we sweep out the highs, I'll be looking for my short. In my trade management, is my trade management the same regardless of time frame? Yes, didn't matter the time frame. The only thing that is different is how much you partial depending on the setup and where you're. And well, the time frame I enter on means nothing. This number here means nothing. Yeah, the 30, whether it's a 30-minute or a 25-minute or a 5-minute or a 5-second, means absolutely zero when it comes to my trade management. When it comes to trade, for me to partial out, it's all depending on where we are. It's for me, it's I don't complicate it. Let's say that price comes all the way up into here. How am I partialing out? Well, my first partials are going to be whatever the reaccumulation that got us up there. That's where I'm taking. Where's my next partial this low? Doesn't matter if you're on a 30-minute or a 4-hour, it's still going to be this low, right? If I come in and I'm looking to take a sell out of here, what's going to be my first partial? My first partial is going to be taking it. This is what caused it to get up there, and then a new low. That's going to be my second partial. That's it. So, I mean, regardless of time frame, it's all location. It's what's on the chart is gonna dictate where I go. If heck, if we come, where's GJ? If we come like on GJ, if we come into what's maintaining the extreme of the order flow, right? Because we broke here, and this was the extreme. So when price came in here off that 80% of the 88-minute, what's the target? The target's a new high, right? No matter what, if that target is 100 pips, it's 100 pips. On GJ, I think what was it? On GJ, it was 2,000 pips. So it's all dependent on location. As for me, it doesn't matter, like the time frame that I enter on doesn't matter. The time frame that I'm looking at, because for me, the 4-hour and the 15-minute are the same thing. There's no difference. So, all right. On ACAD, that's kind of where I am. I'm just in limbo. I honestly think tomorrow we're just going to kind of go sideways until jobs report, and then ideally, yeah, I'm looking at this as a massive redistribution. I just need the shakeout. Same thing like we talked about. What are we sitting here? We're sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going on 7 days of just being here. So I really, really want to get the manipulation to get us to go lower with it. That's what I want to see. And then NCAD's going to be the same thing. NCAD's not as put together as what ACAD is doing, but what do we have, right? We got our distro that sent this down. We know in here was Kiwi News. We know that, ideally what I'd love to get is something in this neighborhood. We're getting pretty close to it. I'm pretty happy of where it's at. This morning, I was looking to see if we can actually break this low because there was a schematic in here. We didn't get it. So now it's just for the love, hold on. So now it's just a matter of waiting for price action in here. I don't want us to trade above this. Unlike ACAD, where ACAD we can do a shakeout, this was the redistro, right? Here's your accumulation, here's your ICE, this is your shakeout, right? So I'm looking to play mitigation of the shakeout. When I look at what we got here, there's no evidence of buyers in this market. This is all profit taking. So just the disorganization and how it's built, 100% for me looking like profit taking. So what I want to do is just wait for the sellers to come back into the market. And that's kind of my thought process with NCAD. And again, what's my target? Targets make a new low. We're talking, what are we talking? 250 pips to make a new low. So that's the game plan with me on NCAD. And why have I been shorting ACAD and NCAD? I mean, just look at it. I mean, I'm still, I think my oldest sell on NCAD. I mean, there was a lot of work went in here. A lot of movement, but I'm still holding. My oldest on the books right now is, geez, where the hell is it? Right here. This is my oldest trade on the books for NCAD, right in there, that distro. And that thing is, what are we? It's only 1,000 bips, but it's going on almost a year that I've been holding it. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see how I'm not worried about this position one bit. It is costing me an arm and a leg in swap fees, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'm going to be looking. And again, you could see like, here's the distro that I wanted. We just never broke. When New York came in, I wanted it to break the low. We just never broke it. So no break, no trade, nothing I'm going to do with it. And we'll see how it continues to kind of play out. On UJ, listen, I'm bullish as crap on UJ. I just, for the life of me, I personally haven't been able to work in an entry. There's been nothing. We got a really, really nice manipulation this morning. This is on the NJ fronts. Once we saw that this morning, I went to work looking for buys, and I was able to get a buy on CAJ and on NJ, but that was it. But yeah, this thing has just continued to elude me. There's just absolutely nothing. I mean, you go back to the beginning of October, I think this thing's already moved like 500 and something pips. 570 pips since the beginning of October. And there's just nothing for me to get into. We're not getting any kind of mitigation of any of the manipulations that we're seeing. So, I mean, at the end of the day, is it bad? No, because at least I know whatever UJ is doing, it's telling me what the yen futures are doing, right? Because it's just the opposite. So as this continues just to be bullish, I know that everything XXX JPY is going to continue to skyrocket. So I might not be able to get into a position on UJ, but I'll be able to position myself on some other plays. You could have gotten on UJ mistake when you warned me it was going higher. Oh man, listen, every morning I have a drink. I pour one for everybody who's been selling UJ, man, because I've seen so many people trying to sell UJ and I just don't see it, man. I don't understand why. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, this thing is just going to continue to go. And it's fundamentally, you just got to know that this thing is getting rocked right now. I mean, if you want to know what the yen futures chart looks like, it's this right here. There you go. That's your yen futures chart. Right. So until we see a reason for sellers to stop short selling the JPY, we're going to continue to just get UJ to get rocking. And it irritates me because I think I can count in the last, man, I think from, when did we start buying this? I want to say we started buying, well, I know when we started buying this. Since I started buying this thing right in here. And this was what are we talking, like January 2021. That's when I started buying it. This thing has now gone 4,500 pips. And I can tell you right now, personally, I got into 2 trades. Both of those trades were break evens. So I missed out on 4,500 pips on this stupid thing, man. What do you got, bro? Well, you call this blue box, will you call this blue place structure when it never came back to the slingshot of the leg? So would I call it structure? I don't know. Like, I'd have to look at, yeah, I don't know. Damn. Yeah, I don't know. So you got a distro, a redistro, an accumulation, a reaccumulation caused the break. Reaccumulation coming back in. No. Yeah, this isn't structure. Continuation move. It's just mitigation of your continuation move. So I don't know what happens to the left, but yeah, no. This is not structure. I mean, it could be. Yeah, this could be the mitigation of it. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see with this, bro. I can't give you a full thing. Can you break down your UJ entry? The one that went break even? Man, I don't even know if we can see it, dude. It's been a while. I mean, I could pull it up in the journal, but yeah, it was just a break even. Just wanted a closer. Oh, you mean like when I tried, when I tried buying here? Oh yeah, man, here. It never came back. Hold on. I don't even know. Can we see it on a 15? There you go. Hold on. There you go. This stupidity, bro. This is when I started trying to buy it. She never came back. She never came back. I was waiting, bro. I was waiting. Once we broke, I was waiting, and then I was waiting here, and then yeah, bro, it just never came back, man. Yeah, but this is when I started buying right in here, which was January 25th, man. Yeah. Oh no, I don't want to leave that. Yeah. I mean, I don't play any of those. I mean, they're all just computer algorithmic generated, man. I don't play any of those indices or indexes actually. So yeah, man. Yeah, no. I wouldn't even, I'll be honest, like I've never back tested them enough to tell you if they follow true structure or not. They're all, I mean, think about it. How are they created? They're created off of different types of weighted fear indexes. That's all they are. That's what encompasses a volatility index. So yeah, like I personally wouldn't, yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough. I've never spent enough time back testing it to really know anything about how to see the structure points on it. So yeah. Anyway, so GJ, I'm looking for buys as well. Nothing. I mean, just look at this stupid thing. We're just not getting any pullbacks. Ideally, this is the last reaccumulation I was kind of looking for, but this thing just never came back. I am looking for continuation plays on it. I mean, we'll see if it gives anything. I don't know necessarily if we're going to see it or not. One second here. Yeah. Yeah. So GJ for me is just going to kind of be in limbo. If we get the break, I mean, we didn't do anything in New York today. Granted, there were some reaccumulations in there, but just nothing for me to play. Like I said, I found NJ and CADJ to be a little cleaner. This right here, nothing for me to do. Absolutely nothing. I mean, just look at what New York did. New York was just a Pac-Man, man. That's all that was. It just gave us Pac-Man. So on NJ though, NJ was a little different story. NJ, what was I looking at? So on NJ, where the hell is my chart? Hold on, I'll pull up my before chart. So this was this morning. Let me just open up my journal, kind of give you a thought process on it. As soon as my journal opens up. All right, so NJ. Here we go. All right, so NJ, this is what I wanted to do with NJ. This morning, we were looking at this, and I kind of wanted us to play, we swept out Asian. I wanted us to play into this, and this is kind of the area I was looking for. So she gave it, there we go. So she came in and she gave a really nice accumulation. I was honestly trying to play the accumulation. She just missed. And I should have, this happened a little too quick for me to throw the buy stop in, but we got the accumulation, we got a reaccumulation, another reaccumulation, and then this is the slingshot. This is the slingshot that caused the break. So for me, I just split my risk, took it off of here. You could see I measured out this whole thing. This was the 80, which kind of put us into the 50 of this. So I just split risk, half my risk up here, half my risk here. So this one actually comes in, once I started seeing this, I was like, all right, it's going to give me the distro. We'll get a shakeout and off we went. So this was a pretty quick play that I was able to just reduce risk. And I took it off the 50 just because the 50 to the high, right, to the high gave me over the 1 to 10 that I wanted. So I was pretty happy with just taking that. And you can kind of see, I mean, she did come right back in perfectly. She came right in, accumulated, but it happened after 3 p.m. and I'm done trading at 2. So like right now, I think it's like at a 1. When I checked last, right around dinner time, it was like a 1 to 7, 1 to 8. Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. We'll see where she goes with it. I'm gonna take some more volume off when we break this high. She's risk-free on this end right now. So we'll see. And then of course, if she breaks, hypothetically, if she breaks this high, well, now this accumulation is maintaining the order flow. So all day long, I'm going to play it, how much did you risk on this? So this is order flow play. So I do a 125%, man. So on a 100K account, I'm doing 125. So split risk, it was 62.50, 62.50. That's how I split it. Yeah. Was it a limit entry on the SC or was there? Yeah, it was a reaccumulation. Yeah. This reaccumulation is what I was playing. Yeah. So I'm essentially playing the test of the reaccumulation. Just like this one here. If this would have happened an hour earlier, I would have been able to catch, because I did have a limit order out of this. Because what do you have? You have your distro, creek, accumulation, all is good. Yeah. What you got here, bro? On GJ, wait, I was confused if we mitigated the SC. You were confused. Making a new high and intraday maintained from these. Doesn't matter. Did you have a complete market cycle? So for me, no. Yeah, did you have a market cycle in here? No. For me, this is an active distribution, right? You have your accumulation, your reaccumulation that causes the break to confirm the larger reaccumulation, and then you're in a distribution. So for me, it doesn't matter. Follow the market cycle. Yeah. I always anticipate a manipulation shakeout. I'm too cautious to play the type of reaccumulation you played. What made you not anticipate them to take out weak-handed buyers and give the shakeout? To give the shakeout of what though? Like, remember, look at what you're getting. I mean, could they have? Sure, they could have. And where was I ready to play or out of here? But I mean, look back at like the last 2-3 weeks, right? Look at the KJ play I took last week, right? What are we seeing? Just reaccumulation. They don't need to give a shakeout, because what's the whole point of this, right? This right here is mitigation of the previous move. The previous move mitigates the previous move. You know what I mean? So you don't always necessarily like, where was the original shakeout, right? You know what I'm going to say? The original shakeout, just zoom the hell out. The original shakeout was this right here. That was the original shakeout. And then what do we get? We got the confirmation of reaccumulation, and then there we go to start the mitigation process. So that's how, I mean, that's why, like, I looked at it that way, on funded accounts with holding swing trades. Do you not face the risk of hitting daily drawdown limits? I don't. I mean, Yeah, I personally don't, just because I don't have, like, I'm not going to be sitting 6% in profit and let 6% go away. I mean, I'm taking partials. So no, I mean, I haven't come close to hitting a daily drawdown. Can I briefly explain a market cycle? Sure. Here we go. Briefly. Accumulation, reaccumulation, distribution, redistro, accumulation, reaccumulation, distribution. You got to follow the market cycle. Know the cycle that the market goes in. Know if you're in the up cycle or the down cycle. So watch the, man, I don't even know if, did I do market cycles in that Wyckoff intro video? I mean, it's been, I think I did a video like 3.5 years ago now. If not, it's, I know for a fact, I'm almost positive I have it in that Wyckoff intro video. So yeah, you're watching it last night. Okay. Watch the Wyckoff intro video on my YouTube channel, because I definitely go in detail and I have way better slides, and because I did that PowerPoint on it. So you caught the same entry? Oh, cool, bro. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, like, I'll tell you right now, and DR, I mean, I know I know we talk about this all the time. Like, it's I didn't take this trade because of one reason. I took this trade because, the accumulation, we came in where I wanted it to come in, right? Perfect. Once we did that, we confirmed the accumulation. We came in and we reaccumulated. This reaccumulation is the cause of this break, right? So how many times in the last couple of weeks have we seen just price not coming back? And this was, and like I said earlier, this was one, man, that we should have, and we'll talk about it in the morning, I guess, but this is one that I think I should have thrown. Because I think it would have been, yeah, dude, it would have been, this is one that we could have thrown a buy stop on, because it would have been, and I think if I remember correctly, I know a couple of you guys were looking at it on the accumulation. I just had my alert there. I totally forgot to set the stupid buy stop on it. Can I do another one of those videos, man? Here's the problem with that, man. That video was like 3.5 hours long, and I just don't have the time, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to, it's not like, oh, let me just take 3 hours of my day to do it. I mean, sure, that one was a quick little YouTube live thing that we did. Actually, I think it was a Zoom that I did. But dude, if I try to do one of those from start to finish, and I had people on there, dude, I'd never get through it. I mean, the thing would be going on an hour 10, and I'd still have a bunch of questions. You know what I mean? And then if I just do it a video on myself, just the editing alone and putting all that crap in there, man, it's like an entire weekend. And I honestly haven't had an entire weekend off, and I can't tell you how long. So, I mean, that's the hardest part. All right, bro, what do you got here? What's the structure? I don't know, man. We're on a weekly, so I don't know. Yeah, man. If you give me an actual chart and not a volatility index, I'd be able to show you, man. But I can't tell you on this, because what's happening over here, in order for me to say that we're bullish, I got to know where did we break bearish structure, and then, I mean, I'll tell you this, is this significant enough? Yeah. I mean, I would say that you have a market cycle in here. So I would say that it's bearish, sure, on the weekly, but I don't know for sure, man. I can't tell you looking at this. So, did I ever finish Tessia? Yeah, I mean, I got funded with them. I'm trading a 100K account with it. I'm not entirely impressed with them, man. Like, their dashboard and back office is archaic, especially if you use like TPT or like MFF or the funded trader or FTMO. Like, this is like kindergarten stuff, man. So, and I'm not too happy with their I'm not too happy with their support. Like I had a question on how to get a payout, how to do the payout system. Took them 3 days to answer it and took them 7 days to pay me out. So yeah, I'm not so far, like the Yelp review on it is like a D minus. So yeah. So if the market doesn't pull back to any slingshot or area of previous structure, then it's not, yeah, it's not the leg, man. It's just continuation moves. So, um, yeah, man. Yeah, it is there. It's all about timing, man. If you saw my schedule, man, most of you guys, I'm sure, maybe you guys don't know. Yeah, I've got 4 kids. All 4 of them are into stuff. But I got 2 older daughters that play competitive travel volleyball and school volleyball at the high school level. My oldest daughter, who's a senior, is being recruited to play in college. So we're doing a bunch of college tours and stuff like that. I've got my son who plays every sport known to man. He plays soccer for his school, plays baseball. Like right now, he's actually at a baseball game. I'm missing his baseball game for this. But I'll make it up on Thursday. And yeah, so I mean, between practices and actual games and then traveling to go to the games, yeah, man, I couldn't imagine, I'll tell you this right now, I couldn't imagine doing this working a full-time job. Just the amount of travel that we do. If you guys knew how much, if you guys only knew how much I paid in travel last year just to take all my kids to their sporting events, you'd throw up in your mouth, man. It is ridiculous. All right. So let's get back into it though, because otherwise my wife's going to kill me. So NJ was pretty clean. NJ was a pretty simple play. And like I said, I mean, just getting it up to this high, it's a 1 to 13. So I'm pretty happy with it. AJ, the difference between AJ and NJ was AJ didn't confirm the break for me. This is the entry. Oh, this is the entry that I caught on NJ, but we didn't break. So the alert didn't go off. If the alert didn't go off, I didn't even look at it. I just played the NJ move. But very similar price action, right? I mean, we could see how price came into that area, gave some, pretty similar price action on it. And I was pretty happy with it, hold on 1 second. Let me 1 second. My wife is texting me. All right, cool. Okay. Uh, what's up, bud? What's up, man? Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It has been crazy. Dude, and yeah, man, it has been just madness. Where is, oh wow. Yeah, I just saw SPX come right into the area we were looking for the shorts, man. All right. Anyway, so AJ didn't break, so that's why I didn't take anything on AJ. But pretty similar price action. Now KJ is a different story, right? Like I've been looking at KJ. I'm still holding longs from KJ from last week. And we look at the picture, and this is an excellent representation of market cycle, right? So what do we know? We know that price, this accumulation caused this move. We know that we accumulated coming back into the slingshot of it. We know that we reaccumulated with our shakeout. And ultimately, what we're anticipating is what? We're anticipating another reaccumulation of some sort, another reaccumulation to continue and break the high. Yeah, I know. I saw this stupid thing, bro. It is what it is, man. So like I said, I'm still holding from last Thursday. I'm still holding buys on reaccumulations. I had 2 orders Where the hell are they? I had the two orders from last week on, yeah, I mean, pretty similar price action. Yeah, it was all pretty similar price action. So we came in, reaccumulate, just working this up until price says no, I don't even know where they're at. I know one's over a 1 to 100 though. This one's at a 1 to 119. This one's at a 1 to 91. So, I mean, I'm sitting at like 75% volume off on them, but I mean, I'm still pretty happy with them. They gave me some really good profits. And then today, same thing, we got the shakeout. Right? We got the shakeout on CAD-J. This was our shakeout. And from the market cycle, what I wanted to see was, okay, we came in, we accumulated, right? Same thing. This one I did check, for those of you guys that were on this morning with me, I did check to see if it was going to be worth the buy stop, but man, it was not worth the buy stop. So instead, what I did was I just split the risk. So here was the 50%. I took one off the 50 of the reaccumulation stop loss just below it. And then I had an entry off the 80. And, we come in, reaccumulate, beautiful reaccumulation. The only thing that sucks, this came in at 3 p.m. when I was off the charts. Otherwise, I would have taken this. And this would have been one that I would have put the buy stop on. I would have split it, especially after we confirmed, I would have had that buy stop set. And, yeah, I mean, this one's sitting pretty nice as well. I don't even know to the high, this was a 1 to 11. So I was pretty happy with that. I mean, it's sitting at like a 1 to 9 right now. So, but very, very, very clean reaccumulation that we got out of here and just super clean price action that we saw, but it was about an hour too late. What I'm looking for is just continuation play. I want to see us break this and now do the same thing, come back down, build the buys. And on the up cycle, just start playing the reaccumulations. Where do you exactly put the buy stop? I mean, on the confirmation of the accumulation. So, yeah. Could you show how it works? Yeah, I mean, so it's just it's going to come down to your risk tolerance and what you want to do. But that you have an accumulation here, right? And that's your spring. So for me, the buy stop would go, on the break right here. So as soon as price, so like if you're, so I would have the buy stop set on the break here. So right now there's no trade. And as soon as it confirmed, boom, it activates the order. So the problem though is it's got to be worth it. Like if you're, realistically, if you're going to do one order, you've got to do it like that. And for me, that ain't worth it, because what's the target? I mean, heck, even if you're going to go all the way to the high, I mean, you're looking at a 1 to 3. So, you've got to be creative in how you do your buy stop with it and your risk. So yeah, that's how you do it. Now, one thing that we've been looking at, especially like on lower time frame schematics, like a 5 second, where if you were to do this on a 5 second, right? If you were to do something like this, you're talking maybe like a 2 pip stop. Yeah, all right, that's worth it, Since EU didn't confirm the distro today, I'm thinking that it might be in a reaccumulation. Since EU did not confirm the distro. Hold on. Since EU didn't confirm this distro is what you're talking about, it didn't confirm this. It might be in a reaccumulation. Could this be a reaccumulation is what you're saying? It could be. Sure. Yeah. We won't know until it breaks. Do you think it's a stretch to expect you to buy to this POI? to this POI. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, but that ain't happening this week. I mean, if it's coming up here, it's going to be probably first week in November for NFP is when you get up there. Yeah. I mean, I don't say it's out of the question. I mean, this could be you're still in the up market cycle, right? Because you're in the accumulation, you're potentially in the reaccumulation. This being the start of that. So yeah, I mean, it could. I mean, I've got where is it? I mean, you could see it. I'm still waiting. That alert. See that alert that says look for shorts? It's there. I mean, I'm ready for it. I'm prepared, but you know, what theoretically or hypothetically, what's going to get us up there? I mean, I don't see anything. I don't see any reason, for one, I don't see anything going on in the euro. The ECB hasn't shown me anything on paper to suggest a monetary policy change that's going to increase strength into the euro, and immediately by doing that, creating a weakness in the dollar. And the Federal Reserve hasn't done anything at all to really thwart off inflation, thwart off a recession, so yeah, I mean, really, it's going to be all manipulation at its finest, and I don't think anybody wants to really put their money where their mouth is and put risk into that to get it up there. Could it happen? Yeah, it can. But it ain't happening this week. It's surely not next week. It'll be NFP. It'll be the first week in November if we do get up here. That's what it's going to take. But yeah, it's there. I mean, I'm waiting. I got the alert. If we can get it, great. That would be awesome. Hold on 1 second. I looked, bro. Oh man, I looked at this shenanigans. Where is it? I looked at this stupidity, bro. There's the 80. There you go. Well, what's stupidity, man? All right, it is what it is. Where did this one come to? This one didn't even come. This is just giving me, all right, whatever. It is what it is. So anyway, CAD-J. Yeah, CAD-J. CAD-J, I'm going to be playing the JPY crosses continuation up to the upside. I've got them on the radar. I don't have EJ on here. EJ's there as well. I mean, you can just see what EJ's done. The reason I honestly haven't looked at EJ is just because it hasn't given me anything. This thing is just, when we started looking for the buys, yeah, this one is still sour, man. This one here, what would this one be at? This one would be at a 1 to 141. This is one we back tested. We just missed. I think this one was just typical. This was typical Frankfurt price action, if I remember correct. Yeah, that's all this was. Typical Frankfurt price action. There it is right there, man. You don't get anything better than that. Just super clean price action. So, but yeah, that's the anticipation. JPY crosses, I'm just looking to boom with. While we're here, EG, I'll give the shout out to the EG freaking welcoming party. Thomas has been eyeing this for a while, and yeah, I'm right there with him. I mean, we broke, we tapped into supply. I'm looking for the 1,000 pip move to the downside. This is the distro that we can come into, and this is the slingshot. So, first point of interest is going to be here. Second is going to be up into this, and I'm just looking to short the crap out of these. We definitely have, and this is what I mean by the 1,000 pip move. Is it any surprise that we flipping broke the low and magically came into the damn 80% of it? So I'm looking to target this low down here. That's what I want to run to, and this is going to be one that if I can position into it, I'm going to definitely take it. What you got, bro, on EG? Would you say this is the intraday? And this is order flow. Yeah. So Hold on. March. Hold on. We'll look at it. No, that's not intraday for me. So all right. So higher time frame, you're bearish. And we are bullish from here. Yeah, so this is intraday. And lower time frame will be, so we broke here. So this is my lower time frame on EJ. And this is the slingshot. So this is the order flow leg. And this is the lowest form of order flow. So you're bullish times 2. And then ideally, I'd be looking at that right there for the short, but that'll be towards the end of the year. That's how I'd look at it. So even with US 30 trading above the area where now with SPX, you'd still, even with US 30, even with US 30 trading above the high. All right, maybe I'm not. All right, so US 30 trade above what high? October 5th. October 5th. So this high here. And what does this high represent? You guessed nothing since it did make a new low. Well, I mean, it means something. You said that US 30 traded above the high. So it's got to mean something for you. Yeah, I mean, so what do I know? Well, I know that we broke here. I know that this is the SC that caused the break. Wouldn't you know that US 30 is trading in there right now? So yeah, I mean, what is this a recipe for? Redistro. That's how I'm looking at it now. Would I love for us to get up in here? Sure, because this I know is pretty much the sell order that caused this entire push, and then obviously this is what's maintaining it. But you know, this bad boy right here, same thing. We broke. I would have loved for us to get in here, but what do? We came short of it and redistributed, and now we're trading in this, which yeah, I'm looking for that. You know, and if we trade above this, then I'm looking in here. So that's how I'm looking at it. The only trade I got into this morning was SPX on indices, and I was just playing redistro. So we were on it. We were on them. I mean, we were looking for the short. I ended up getting it out of here. Yeah, so there we go. So US 30, SPX all distributed from up here. We caused the break. Price comes back in and mitigates out. So I didn't do anything yet, but once we got the break, I just took out, you know, you got an accumulation, you got your ICE. I ended up taking an entry out of there, right? Mitigating this. And the reason I went off the 50% of the manipulation is just split between the 50 and the 80. And I couldn't make up my mind where I wanted to go. But this gave me, I mean, you can kind of see, this gave me the 1 to 10 that I wanted to the new low, which is where I took my first partials. It was a 1 to 12. And then my next partials was just taking out Asian liquidity, you know? So overall, this gave me here a 1 to 17. And I was pretty damn happy with that. It, you know, obviously it ended up hitting break even after, but you know, I think I ended up securing like 1.2% today just on NASDAQ. So I was pretty happy with it. Yeah. And I mean, nothing's really changed. You know, I'm going to continue to look. I'm going to continue to look for the shorts on it. Um, Same thing on indices. You know, the today's price action was pretty damn clean. I was pretty happy with it. Even on US 30. I mean, yeah, I mean it was still pretty clean. I mean, I don't know if anybody looked at this morning at the market open, but she gave a beautiful distribution. Yeah, she gave a just a beautiful distro. And here's the distro, right? I mean, there's your one drive, two drive, three drive, UTAD, just super clean. And yeah, I mean, really, really clean price action. The, like when we zoom out, I mean, what's, I got my Pac-Mans. Like when we zoom out, what do we tag into? I mean, damn, we came pretty damn close to this 80 that I was looking at. There's the 80. So, I mean, we came into it where I wanted us to come into. Now it's just a matter of just seeing this thing follow through, you know. On US 30, you have the immediate redistro that, wait. All right. So let me see. So on US 30, you have the immediate redistro that caused the low. Then right above it, you have the redistro with the greater manipulation that had a bigger effect. Both of those redistributions in the 4 are not the extreme. Does it matter which one you consider the SE? Yeah, does it matter? Like for me, I mean, I can do one of two things. I could sit here and ponder and try to figure out which one it is, or I set an alert here. If it gives me a distro here, I take it. If it goes lower, then I know that was the SC and we're good. If it doesn't go lower and it goes higher into here, what do I do? Well, then I play out of this one. I mean, does it? Yeah, for me, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not going to waste a lot of time trying to figure out which one it is. You know, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to. I thought I had my damn. I thought I had. Maybe it's on here. I know I got alerts somewhere on this thing. Maybe I got it on futures. Yeah, I think I got it on futures. No, now I can't even find my damn alerts. Anyway, yeah, I mean, you can see I had one alert in here, and then yeah. So if we trade above here, yeah, I'm going up, and there's that distro in here that I want to play, and I want to play into the 80% of this whole thing. So, yep. You get thrown off when you have too many POIs. All right. I mean, dude, I mean, I have a lot of POIs. I have a lot of price action. I have a lot of, I mean, dude, I still have this, I still got the major POI that I'm still waiting on right here. One thing I could tell you is just have like what I do is I have a journal, like something I write down notes in for every pair or asset that I trade. And just so I have notes on it and know what my thought process is. Um, you know, the other thing is I just have a really, I would consider it a very intricate and very intimate knowledge of every pair. Like when someone asks me a question, hey man, what do you think about this? If I know what I'm doing with it, I could tell you exactly from top down on it, what I want to do with it. Where I'm looking, where I'm waiting, what's my next target, why I'm doing what I'm doing. If you ask me a question on something and I'm like, man, I don't know, I haven't looked at that pair in a long time, I can guarantee you I won't be trading it anytime soon. You waited for the pullback as well into the distro, but it never gave the pullback. Yeah, bro. You waited for the pullback. Yeah. So I was there. I mean, you could see, hold on. You could see on NASDAQ, dude, I had the limit order on that second one. Once I got on the first, I had the limit order on the second, man, and she just never came back. Where's it at? Yeah. Look, so I'm sure you saw it, right? Look at this distro right here, man. I'll tell you right now, I had a lot size waiting on this bad boy right there. I had that right there. Just I split it. So I took it off of here. I had one off the 50, and then I went in. I had a little extra wiggle room on because of CJ. So I went in big on that right there, and she just never came. Look, there's my alert. She never came back. So I was, yeah, Amazon almost got another call for another monitor. Um, what got me down to the 15-second to play this? I mean, I was there. I mean, what doesn't get you down to start playing the like? What were you looking to do? Yeah, for me, I mean, what gets me, remember, like I always talk about it, like what am I doing during my trading time? What am I doing? I'm sitting here like this, right? I'm going here like on the 5 minute, right? I'm going down to the 1 minute, going down to the 15-second, I'm going up to the 15 minute. I always said, remember, TradingView doesn't charge you to cycle through all the time frames. You could just keep doing them over and over and over again. So what got me down to the 15-second, I just was bouncing through. And I'll tell you right now, I mean, like especially when you get the alert, I got the alert that we broke right here. Got the alert. I mean, looked at it and I said, well, shoot, what do we have? You know, we've got the redistro, you know, put something on it. If we break it, we know we're coming up here, you know. It's the shakeout of the order flow redistro. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, man. But I wanted this one, dude. If there was ever a trade this week that I really wanted to catch, it was that right there, man. That right there, freaking A was it. Um, XAU USD, bro. Man, I couldn't tell you. I haven't traded gold in a minute, man. Bearish on gold, dude. What did it do today? What did it do? Let's see. What did it do? Nothing, bro. Look at this. Look at this madness, man. What do I have marked up? Do I have anything marked up? Nah, not on this one. What about this one? Nothing marked up on here, bro. I haven't looked at gold in a minute, man. I want nothing to do, honestly, with gold. It's not. I mean, just look at it. I mean, I'm bearish. Yeah, I'd be bearish on it. I mean, this was probably the best opportunity you had for a trade coming back into here. And I would imagine coming back. There wasn't someone last week looking for buys on gold. I'm almost positive. I think so. I remember somebody wanting to buy out of here. Yeah, I mean, just we're bearish. Look at the markets. You're in the down cycle. You're not in an up cycle. This is irrelevant. This here, highs and lows mean nothing, right? 1550. That's where I'm oh shoot, I've been targeting 1550 for a long time. Yeah, right here. This is what I'm targeting right here. This right here. This is where we're coming. So I would continue to be looking for shorts. I mean, I'm not trading silver just because I don't have a broker that does it, but we're getting pretty damn close to where I want to buy more physical silver. And I've been waiting on this since March of 2020. So yeah, I'd be looking for shorting opportunities on metals, especially with the 10-year, bro. The 10 years up over 4%. We're continuing to rock this. Metals are just going to take a beating, and they're going to continue to take a beating for a long time until we get back below. I mean, just look at where we were over the last decade. We're somewhere in the neighborhood of like 1.3 to maybe 3%. 10 years sitting at 4%, man. Metals are just going to take a beating. So that's kind of where I'm at with all of this. What are we at here? Oh, wow. Look at this. It came into the 80 too. Dude, on the flipping money, man. On the money, it came into the 80. Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I'm looking at, man. I don't know if anybody else has anything else that they're looking at, but I mean, for the most part, I am. What do I have here? Yeah. But that's pretty much it. That's everything I'm looking at. I'm really not, I mean, I got my hands full on these dollar crosses. Yen crosses are big. And then we'll see what indices give us. You know, I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing that I'm going to be watching is post London Open into crossover. I want to see what we can do from it and then go from there. Anybody else have anything else? If not, I'm going to call it a night. Going to grab some dinner and probably do some Call of Duty later on. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you partial 50% instead of 25. Why is that? Depends on the scenario. Yeah. Depends on where we are. You know, obviously if I'm playing out of order flow, I'm gonna take more partials because I'm already selling at discount or buying at premium. So it all depends on the scenario. Yeah. It also depends on where am I at the month, you know. If I'm starting, if I'm 3 weeks into my month and I'm only sitting at 1%, yeah. You know, if I take 50% volume off and I throw an extra 3% in my pocket, I'll do it just to build my nest egg. You know, if not, then yeah. I mean, I can't, there's about 100 different scenarios into why, you know, just here's my advice for trade management. Don't write your trade management down in concrete and say, man, that's it. Every trade is doing this. No, it's got to be scenario based. You know, you've got to be able to flow with what the condition's giving you and what you're currently going in. So, you know, it's all dependent on what's happening in that. But sounds good. Listen, everybody, thanks for hopping on. I will catch everybody later. If you need anything, hit me up in the Discord. Have a good one.